All right, guys, don't forget about Underdog Wireline, man. I'm doing a quick shout out for these guys. You know, they've been sponsoring us since day one almost, man. So it's a great guys, great company. You know, if you need a logged, perfed, you know, they do completion, open hole. They got drop guns, man. They got lay down machines. They got all kinds of stuff, dude. So check them out. Don't forget, I'm gonna put the number up right here. Look them up, man. They're great people. They know how to get it done. I worked with them personally out here, you know, especially on the wireline side. So I know exactly what they're doing. Their hands are out there helping out. So I've said it before. I'll say it again, man. Hit them up. They're the best out here. Give them a shout out, dude.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys again, here to announce yet another sponsor, Branded 14 Hot Shot Services LLC. They offer hot shot work, ESP spooling, ESP technician service, and heavy hauling with semis. These guys are local. They're helping us out, so we want to help them out. Go give them a call at 432-638-1755. All the other information we're going to put right down here, so you guys can give them a call, send them an email, however you need to get in contact with them. We appreciate it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys back again. We got a special guest with us today, CJ Smith. He's been listening to the show quite a bit. He comments about the show quite a bit, and of course, he teaches here in Midland. He teaches jiu-jitsu in Midland. Is it just jiu-jitsu, or you expand a little bit?
Yeah, just jiu-jitsu for right now. We'll probably introduce kickboxing at some point. For right now, it's just jiu-jitsu.
Cool. So yeah, he's teaching here, and so man, we thought it'd be cool to have him on, not just because he is teaching jiu-jitsu in Midland, but also because he's teaching. He's listened to the show a lot and he likes it. So of course, you know, we deal with the haters, so it's good to deal with the lovers too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So of course, man. So man, we appreciate you for being here. I know it's a lot to take out your time out from teaching your students and stuff. So we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here. It's exciting. It's really cool to be in the studio. Colin's a good friend of mine. That's how I heard about the show.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. His whole story. I remember I first met Colin. He was working downtown at the time, so he was commuting from Katy on the bus. I'm like, man, Colin's crazy, because I'm from Houston. I'm a native Houstonian. Grew up on the southwest side of town in A-Leaf. And so I would be like, man, he's crazy riding that bus in. And then he decided to start Digital Wildcatters, and I remember him and Julie grinding like for years. And so he was a huge inspiration to me actually going out and starting the school. Yeah. Because believe it or not, that's not my day job. Mm-hmm. So I'm the general manager for Cintas, the uniform company.
Nice.
So I'm in the field all the time. You know, FR is such an important piece of what people are doing in the field, right?
Absolutely.
So it's good to be out here, not just surviving solely on jiu-jitsu for right now, but able to support the oil field, all the workers, all the folks working hard.
That's badass,
so,
man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Real quick, I want to shout out to Underdog Wireline. Real quick.
Shout out, man.
Shout out to Collide. Actually, give it sponsor props.
Of
you know,
course,
hey, it works.
Man.
Yeah, it works. Course. Hey, Underdog Wireline, like, man.
Yeah, man.
I know about it because of y'all.
Love y'all, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's awesome, dude. That's the first time we've had that happen.
Yeah, I know.
Hell yeah,
it's conditioned in my head every time I cut on a podcast. Man, shout out to they've been with us from the start, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Collide. I swear, if Colin builds like the Terminator on the oil field, I'm gonna have a big problem. He's gonna be fueled on crude. We're gonna have issues, you know.
Oh man, hell yeah, dude! I really appreciate you listening.
Yeah,
dude.
Thank you, man.
You know, we have a wild, like a crazy variety of people that come on, and we love it, man, because we meet everybody. You know, and I've been seeing you for a while on Instagram, so like over a year, I think, and ever since we even started. So I was like, man, this guy looks cool, and I saw the school in Illinois for a while, man. I was like, that's pretty neat. Like it was an Eagle, and I was like, man, I don't know much about it, and then I saw you, and I was like, oh, now I know where they are. And I think I even seen you at a tournament once downtown the Bush, like a year ago, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so when we built that school, my wife and I built it. She was like, what color do you paint the outside? I was like, I don't know, the loudest color I can find. Everybody thinks I love green, but I was like, I went in Home Depot and I was like, that's the color nobody will miss. I can say the green building on Illinois, they're going to know exactly where it is. You can't miss it. But yeah, that's kind of like our thing now. So we got green merchandise, and our geese have some green threads, and it's just like, it kind of took off. So.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So like, do you have I see that you have a wide range of ages. Mm-hmm. So do you stop at any age, or you have really, really, really young kids and stuff?
Man,
and I was asking personally, right? Mm-hmm. Because I have a daughter that I do want to eventually put into jiu-jitsu, both daughters actually.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so for me, let me back up just a step. So the reason I wanted the school is because I want to build something I wish I had growing up kind of in the neighborhood. There wasn't a lot of positive things going on. Yeah. And I wanted to build something I wish I had, like something that kids who's on the street are struggling, like they had an outlet that they could go to, like literally something I wish I had as a kid growing up. So, like I say, it's nice to have a day job where I don't have to rely solely on that, right? Yeah. So that we can take care of people in special circumstances and things like that. But our kids, we range from 3 and adults up to 63. One of my students is 63 years old.
Nice.
And so it's like there's no cutoff. I just ask for the kids to be potty trained. That's it. If they're 2 and they're potty trained, they can come train. But that's it. But
that's good.
Yeah, investing in the kids has been very, very gratifying. Yeah. Like I've always coached as a kid. You know, I was a big basketball player, and I coached when I was a teenager basketball camps for kids. And it was always fun to give back. And now I'm giving them back something. You know, not that there's anything wrong with coaching basketball. Matter of fact, Coach's a podcast we had, Coach Carter's, was fantastic, man. You talk about one that really got you. I almost cried twice. I'm not much of a crier, but man, what a fantastic interview. Yeah. I would like to link up with him at some point because, man, what a fantastic testimony of taking your life at a very low spot and kind of just changing course and now making a difference in so many people's lives, man. You know, so it's nice to give back and not only, like I say, teach kids a skill, but a skill they can use to defend themselves. Yeah. Because what I don't want is my kids to know just aspects of jiu-jitsu, but not know how to defend themselves or their loved ones should they find themselves in that position in the future. Now, God forbid they do, right? Hopefully they don't. But if they do, they're able to defend themselves, you know?
Yeah, it's good to have the tools, man. You never know when stuff like that is going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that because I've been reading a lot more stuff going on lately in Midland. Yeah. Specifically in Midland, like the circumstance, I don't know if it was a Love's or what it was, the gas station where they tried to abduct a 6-year-old little girl. And then another one that I saw the other day, just the other day, some woman on Facebook randomly put it on that they were trying to open all her doors, stuff like that, right? I'm seeing it more and more, and it comes with the amount of people flooding in and how much work there is and stuff like that. So we've dealt with it before here, but yeah, for my daughters, definitely I want them to start young.
Yeah, especially being a father of daughters. It's like, man, my daughters don't have a choice. Like they're gonna train jiu-jitsu to their black belt at 18. If they think they're gonna quit, they gotta move out the house. Like that's it. And I told my son, I was teasing him the other day. He's 15 and 6 foot tall. Nobody abducting him. Like, you know,
dead weight.
They'll bring him right back. Anyhow, I told him, I said, listen, you know, you're going to be trained till you're 18. He said, well, what if I still live with you? I said, well, you always have a place with me, Pop, but I got news for you. You can be 40 years old, live with me. You can be training jiu-jitsu. Come on, Dad. You know, but I mean, that's really how I feel, man. I think that it's something that's important. And not that jiu-jitsu is like the only martial art that I believe in. I started boxing when I was a kid. My uncle trained fighters in Houston for years. And that's really how I got into combat sports. He worked at Heights Boxing Gym and ran the gym for years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Lou Duva had his camp there, Vander Holyfield, a lot of those guys. And so, it was nice to grow up that environment. So I always knew striking. And then I got into kickboxing with Saul Solis, rest in peace, my first real kickboxing coach and who introduced me to jiu-jitsu. And I just loved kickboxing. And he was like, this is like 2008. And he's like, man, your ground game's terrible. I don't care. I just want to kick and punch people, you know. Like, I don't care about that. It's stupid, you know. And so he just like, man, if the fight ever goes to ground, you're done, you know. And I just like, I didn't care. I don't want to hear it. And so years later, you know, in my 30s, realizing you can't get punched and kicked in the face forever. I'm like, what do I do? You know, my speech is starting to slur here and there. I'm just like, you know. So I got into jiu-jitsu because I wasn't done with combat sports, but I wanted to have an outlet that I could still use for self-defense, right? That was going to give my brain a little bit of a break. And so that's how I got into jiu-jitsu.
Oh, okay.
And actually moved to Midland for jiu-jitsu, believe it or not.
Really? Yeah. Who'd you train with?
Yeah, I trained with Bruno Bastos.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we were all together. Like this is going to get a little bit of jiu-jitsu politics here for a minute. So we all trained together. It was Bruno, who has Bastos Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Fitness now. It was Brad Barnes, who has Midland BJJ. And then all of us, we were all together. And then they split off, and then years later, I split off. And so now it's like you can look at it two different ways, right? You can look at it like, oh, man, look how terrible we all split off. Or look how many lives we can all change and affect now that there's 5 schools who teach jiu-jitsu just in Midland, Texas. Yeah. It's very uncommon for our population. And let me tell you this. Per capita, we have more world champions and master world champions here in Midland than any other city I know of in the entire world. Wow. I mean, major titles, American national titles, Pan-American titles from Midland, Texas, from all over the world. My wife and I were in Abu Dhabi last November. She just won a Masters female title, world title at a purple belt, like in Abu Dhabi. It was like I brought 6 people from Midland, Texas to Abu Dhabi to compete, and we came back with 2 medals. It's like, man, it's very uncommon. So the level here is very high. the level here is very high. What you think? Like, man, it's crazy.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is that I remember training like at Juan Perez when he first started over here, because that's where I went there when I was a kid, like 16. But I remember he was like, man, that was a whole new thing to me. I never even heard of that stuff, you know. And we had I can't think of his name right now. I'll think of it in a second. But we had him on, and I remember him walking around with his shirt, and I was just like, what is that, dude? And then I found out it was the UFC stuff and all that, and that's when it went from there. But it is crazy to see now there's 3 major schools here, and how y'all have like this competitive BJJ thing going. And that's pretty different for me, because I never even remember seeing that growing up, you know what I mean? And now it's like a big thing, right? I mean, that's pretty much all y'all schools do, right? It's like really competitive, like in a way. Like, I mean, you'll do training and self-defense, right?
Yeah, my school has competitors in it. I wouldn't say that we're like a competition only school. I gear everything more towards self-defense first, because what I've seen before is kids who, and I mean this with all due respect, kids who are fantastic competitors in the tournament scene, but when they struggle maybe getting somebody to the ground from a takedown, because all they're used to doing is playing guard. Guard is when I've brought somebody down to the ground so that I can now do my attacks off my back typically, right? So for me, the kids walk in, the first thing I teach them how to do is shoot a double leg, like wrestling, right? Yeah. They shoot him for a takedown, dump somebody down. Yeah. I have a great story. I love telling the stories. This young man's name was Owen, and I can share it because I've talked to his parents. And I started school in my garage with my wife, and literally we had just mats in our garage. And a buddy of mine, his mother was working for a buddy of mine, said, hey, listen, I'm gonna send a kid your way. He just got beat up at school. And I was like, what? I was like, man. I was like, bring him to me today. He's like, I don't know if he'll come today. I was like, man, please try to bring him to me today. Because I knew he's like dealing with some trauma, and I want to turn around as fast as possible, you know. So he comes in, he's got his head down, you know. And I said, hey, what's up, buddy? How are you? You know, what's your name? He's like, Owen. I'm like, come here, buddy. So I put him with one of my other students, Caleb, who's a fantastic young man as well. And the whole class shooting double. At the end of class, I said, okay, Caleb, put your hands up. And so he put his hands up like he's like in his boxing stance and ready punching. And I could see Owen kind of freak out a little bit. I said, change levels and shoot. He changed level, shot, took him down. I said, buddy, you don't ever have to be a victim like that again. It's like, boom, like a light bulb went off. Yeah. Man, this kid, when you see him now, he walks in the gym. This is what, almost 2 years later. His shoulders are back. He's smiling, you know. Like his sister trains with me. His mother trains with me. His father trains with me now as well. It's like, man, that's why I want to do this. That's why I stayed up some nights till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning after work on my day job to paint the gym to get it ready. As a single dad at the time. It's like, man, all that struggle and all that work was so gratifying to see these young people's lives change, man. Just makes such a difference. I've never done anything that's been so gratifying, you know?
Damn, that's pretty deep, man. I mean, especially when you see a kid like that pretty much at his lowest. I mean, he got like beat up or hurt.
We all been there, right? We all been in situations like this. And my wife and I for 30 years I couldn't talk about it, but now I'm not embarrassed by it. My wife and I are both victims of sexual assault when we were younger and we were kids and stuff. And so it's like, I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about it, and I get it. Everybody should do what's comfortable for them. But for me, I feel like as I began to talk to other people about it, I realized so many people had the same experience, but they just didn't feel comfortable, felt ashamed, the same feelings that I felt, right? Coming up. So now it's like empowering people to, hey, you don't have to be the victim anymore. There's a young lady who trains with us now. She's a wonderful mother. And I knew she had a very rough background, and we were training the other day, and I was going really hard on her. And after the round, I was like, hey, like, it's never going to happen again. Like, it's never. And I don't know. I just kind of felt my spirit to talk about it, not to get too holy or anything like that. I just felt like on my heart heavy to, like, man, encourage her. I was like, man, just know it never has to happen again. Like, you're good enough right now, like, to never let that happen to you again. And man, helping people. It's not that it's something so great at me. It's that they just show up and have the dedication. They did it themselves. I didn't do anything remarkable. I just provided them the avenue and the tool, and they did it, right? And but man, she started crying right there, and I said, I apologize. And after class, I was like, hey, I apologize. She's like, no, I needed that so bad. It's like, it's just nice to be used as an instrument to help people feel more empowered in circumstances like that.
Man, that's amazing, man. You can hear the conviction in your voice, and man, hopefully everybody is hearing that and seeing that through the camera, man.
Because you speak very well.
Yeah, it's not for sure, man. But the conviction and the passion in your voice is. It's not unlike, Garrett, you know what I'm saying? The same way. I mean, that link is definitely going to have to happen for sure, because I know he has a lot of those cases with him, and they got sports and everything. And I'm sure he would love to provide, being a person like him that wants to be in the combat sport, where he said, I want to make a comeback, in boxing or whatever. Some of these kids, I'm sure, have those issues you just spoke about, and man, if they have just another added avenue, if you guys can work together, that's amazing, man. We're gonna have to put that together, Rick.
Yeah, man. There's some
put that together.
And there's some nonprofits that we're working with now to trying to help. There's one of them's a battered women's shelter. We're trying to put something together for them, like a women's only type class.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just because they don't want to, even situations like that. When there's a women only class for us, I don't even go on the mat. Like I don't even. I want it to be like their space because some of these ladies are coming out with some crazy stuff, man. I didn't realize how big sex trafficking, human trafficking was. I didn't realize how big it was out here until about a year ago. And then my eyes were really opened up. It's like we're a major corridor. And it's like, man, I got a lot of, I was raised by a single mom. No disrespect to my father. My father's fantastic. We have a beautiful relationship now. I love him so much. But my mom worked 3 jobs coming up. And I was like, man, I saw her struggle a lot. I saw her struggle a lot. And it's like, man, I have compassion for women who are in that same situation, trying to raise children, trying to do better for themselves and for their loved ones. It's like, man, it's just very prevalent out here. And I didn't realize it because I love this community so much, man.
It's very unfortunate that the people that are in those circumstances are the ones that find themselves in the crosshairs. You know what I mean? They're not going, they're not going after the people who are strongest. They're going after the mother who's struggling to go buy groceries and she has to carry her kids with her to there because she has to go to work or drop them off somewhere or whatever. And man,
nobody rolling up on me, nobody roll up on you. It's not that I'm like I got that thing on me all the time anyways, but nobody does. Nobody rolls up. Here I am, like ready. I'm ready, and nobody rolls up. It's like that's just it. They prey on the weakest or what they perceive to be the weakest. And if enough people are empowered to know, look, one thing I do as well, I did a course last summer for the Midland High cheerleaders, like a little self-defense workshop for them. It's like the first thing I'm gonna tell you always is to try to get away. Like there's nothing I can teach you in the next 2 hours that can save you 100% of the time. You always try to avoid the situation, but if you can't, and then we'll go through some scenarios, right? I'll show them some situational stuff that they can deal with. But because I never like to give the false idea that, I'm a jiu-jitsu purple, but now nothing bad can happen to me. That's not reality at all. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to increase our likelihood of living in one of these bad situations, making it out alive, right? That's what we're trying to do.
Getting out of there.
That's it.
Getting away.
That's it.
I also feel like jiu-jitsu is like the best defense for a daughter. I mean, a woman, or you know what I'm saying? Just
well, if you think about it I'm glad you said it. If you think about it from this standpoint, so how long will it take me to teach a woman to be proficient kickboxer? Man, it could take a very long time, right? Depends on her anatomy. If she's a smaller woman, can she really get up and jump, elbow strike somebody in the head or knee somebody in the face? Might not happen, right? I could probably teach her how to throw a nice jab. I could teach her how to throw a nice right, bob and weave a little bit for sure. But man, how long will it take her to feel really proficient? If I teach her when somebody's on the ground to be able to shrimp and get away, or if somebody's in mount trying to get out of mount, like, man, that might be much more useful for them. Again, I'm not one of these like, oh, jiu-jitsu is the best combat sport and everything else sucks. Like people who talk like that are ridiculous. Everything has its place. Like I can even make the argument that Taekwondo has its place in self-defense. Why? Because I'm managing distance, right? From me to you right now, Taekwondo makes more sense than jiu-jitsu. Why? Because I'm managing space. So again, but to your point, I think that it's very beneficial because 9 times out of 10, a fight's can end up on the ground or an aggressive situation can end up on the ground anyway. So might as well be very proficient there.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get their hands on you, right? And it's funny, my mind goes back to the video that's completely viral at this point of the female that's in a gym solo. It's a 24-hour gym solo, and a male tries to come at her, and she got away just simply by scrambling, not panicking, but fighting back. And eventually got enough distance to run away. So I very much, think that applies to jiu-jitsu. Just do enough to get that space and get away. Like that's,
it's like one of the absolutes I tell people when they first start now is like, hey, figure out how to get on top and stay on top. Right? Like that's an absolute, right? If I'm playing on bottom, I want to try to get on top, right? And that's the whole art of it. If I can't submit them, I need to figure out how to sweep them, which is like reversing position to come on top, right? Because all the points in jiu-jitsu, like in competition jiu-jitsu, is based off strikes, right? As soon as I pass the legs, it's called passing the guard. It's now I've negated 2 of their biggest attacks, which is their feet. They can't kick me in the face, can't up kick me, anything like that. So that's 3 points, which is very significant. If I get my knee on belly, like my knee's on his belly, and I can rain down punches, it's more points, right? If I go into mount, it's even more points because now what? I'm behind, I'm past his legs, I'm on top of him, my hands are free to punch him in the face, right? So all of it is geared around, although there's no strikes in jiu-jitsu, it's geared around strikes. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's good around positioning.
Man,
Yeah.
you detail it pretty good. I'm over here like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
You already seen yourself there on the mat
really
already.
tensing up on my fist, you know.
man.
But that's
I
awesome.
tell you, it started for me, man, really. Like, so I was done with kickboxing. I'll back up just a little bit. I was done with kickboxing. I realized that I can't keep taking this damage. And man, I was like 305 pounds when my son was born. I was really big, man. I was really overweight, and I needed to make a change. And so I have a very addictive personality. And so I knew if I could just get into it, like I was going to be good.
Yeah.
You know? And so I had started losing a little bit of weight, just like working out, eating a little bit cleaner. And then I finally got serious about training. And then I got the competition bug and it was over. I did my first tournament and I had so much anxiety that I just gravitated towards it. And I'm 46 years old now, and so there's very few things that give me. I mean, dude could rolling right now with a gun. I'd be less anxious than when I walk onto the competition mats, and that's it.
Wow,
it's just terrifying.
Yeah.
It's just I have a lot of anxiety, and at my age, there's not a lot of things that give me a lot of anxiety. I'll sit down for a 5-hour tattoo session with my boy Alex, and I'm just like, this is gonna be terrible, but here we go. Like nothing I could sit in a meeting with our CEO, and I'm like, I'm gonna perform, I'm gonna produce. But man, when I walk on those mats, it's the self-doubt. Like, man, I've invested so much in jiu-jitsu, time away from my loved ones, money, sponsors, dollars. Like, man, like it's never like, oh, am I gonna get hurt? It's, man, am I gonna make a fool of myself or my people? Am I gonna embarrass my people? Right? And like I say, nothing makes me feel like that. There's nothing in my entire life that gives me that feeling.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's kind of like being a glutton for pain.
Like,
my name is CJ, and I'd like to admit I have a problem.
Yeah, dude.
The mats. Yeah, my problem, man.
That's crazy, man. Because
awesome.
I see you're like busy too. Like I see you, like you said, you work full time at Cintas, and then you're always training. You're doing, and you do like tournaments every weekend. I feel like you're always like helping out, or I mean, you're coaching. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I try my very best. I'm coming back from injury right now. I had my knee scoped. I had a really bad bucket tear in my good knee, and this is my third knee surgery in like 4.5 years. So or 5 years, and this has been the hardest one to come back from. But in the meantime, still got to get my students really ready. They're actively competing, and so I love coaching. Whenever I have a student competing, I've flown to Orlando just for one student competing. I take it very seriously, and I feel like it's an honor to get out there and coach them. I never felt like it was a burden. I felt like they're representing me and everything it took for me to build my brand in jiu-jitsu and in combat sports in general. I was like, man, if they're flying the flag, I want to be there helping them out as well.
That's special, man. It's special for sure.
It's crazy. So what are you, a black belt? I'm guessing.
I'm a black belt.
Dang, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
How long you been a black belt for?
I've been a black belt for 3 years this December, so a little over 2 years, 2.5 years almost.
Okay.
So I'll get my first degree this December.
Dang, that's awesome.
And the gym will be open. Let's see, 2 years. My wife always gets mad at me. I think it was end of May, but she's gonna tell me, no, it was in June. It was May or June. So almost 2 years. We got about 270 students right now, so it's growing very quickly, man.
It's about the same time we started up.
I think so. Around the same time.
That's crazy. And just so people know, he's on Wally across from the Goodwill, right?
Yeah. We're right there. We're right there in Illinois, right across from the Goodwill, right by Back in the Day Cafe. If you're a white person, it's Back in the Day Cafe. If you're Hispanic, it's right next to Jimmy.
J. Payne.
Jay Peños and Jimmy T's, right?
Jimmy T's on the corner.
If you're Latino, it's by Jay Peños, okay, or Jimmy T's. Okay. The white folks is by Back in the Day Cafe. It's right there. It's to the west of Back in the Day. You get your short stack, and then
I love Back in the Day.
Good food, man. Good food, man.
It's one of the only like old timey diners that we.
They're good people too,
man. Oh yeah, everybody's sweet there, man.
So like you went to Abu Dhabi. How was that like, man? What was it like going to that country? That's a very
it was great.
Country.
There had to be definitely a lot of heavy hitters over there.
Oh man, it was great. It was our second time out there. The nice thing is when you go during the World Pro, they know you're there for jiu-jitsu. They treat you like royalty because the Sheik loves jiu-jitsu. He built a stadium just for jiu-jitsu. And so when we're out there competing, it's like all the royalties there. Like they're there. Like, and when the Sheik walks in, everything's silent.
Yeah.
It's not like a normal sporting event. Like but when the Sheik walks in, it's just quiet.
Really?
Yeah, man. They're two biggest things. You go over there and you cut on the TV Tuesday afternoon, you're going to have falconry. Y'all know about falcon racing. It's falconry.
Yeah.
So that's really big there. And then that's really like the national sport, I believe.
Really?
And then you have jiu-jitsu on the next channel. Like they take it super serious. So you get there, they treat you super well. honestly, price wise, it's very reasonable. I feel like to eat a meal here and eat a meal there, maybe a little bit cheaper, but the quality of food is
amazing,
fantastic. Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
it's incredible. It's a great experience. I recommend everybody go. The flight's a little rough. It's like between 17, 18 hours to get out there. And they're almost 24 hours different time wise. So I try to get it just right. So when we land, I'm kind of on somewhat of a sleep schedule, but that's the challenge, right? But
and how harsh is the weather?
Man, it's beautiful. You know, we go in November is when the tournament is, and it's normally about like, I don't know, man, 75, 80 during the day. And then it's barely warm enough to get in the water. The water there is just beautiful. It's like it's like Midland, but with a beach. It's desert. You'll see some and a beach.
Damn,
that's crazy.
But I'm talking about like it's literally like Monahans and then a beach. You're like,
that's wild. That's crazy shit.
But man, it's incredible. The people there are really nice. And honestly, if they let me have my guns, I'd probably move there. But I feel the same way about Mexico. It's like, man, if Mexico let me have I'd be trying to be a citizen, man.
Yeah, Mexico's beautiful.
That's it.
Too many bad people with guns. Man. And not enough good people with guns.
We visited Chihuahua for the first time about 6 months ago, and man, I could not believe it. I was scared driving our. We got a TRD Pro Sequoia. I was like, man, I don't know. I'm not trying to deal with all this mess, you know.
And martial arts
but I was more worried about the cops than anybody else, you know. Like I was worried about the federal athletes more than I was the nautical. So I wasn't worried about it.
You just every time that I go, I always make sure as soon as I cross the border, I get myself a little, you know, some pesos, whatever.
Keep a little cash in the pocket.
You're good, man. It is. Yeah. When they go a little bit further, and I've told Ricky this, right? But when they go a little bit further, I get stopped, whatever, and they'll be unreasonable. Yeah. They know I'm from Texas. They want more than I'm like, nah, man.
Ashamed, dude.
I'll take your license. I'm like, here you go. Take my license. Take my license plates. Take whatever you want, man. Yeah. And they always fold. All right, man. It's enough for a burrito. Yeah. Have fun.
We've driven to Juarez probably like, I don't know, man, 20, 30 times since I've lived out here, but I never gone that deep. And so I was a little concerned. Well, as soon as we pull up in Chihuahua, man, it's a Porsche right here, a Lamborghini. I was like, man, where are we?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like I was thinking it's gonna be like Juarez, and I love Juarez. But I was like, man, I couldn't believe it.
And the misconception comes from like the small towns. Like where I grew up, it was a small town. Now it's not so quiet because they built the Milwaukee, Chihuahua.
Okay,
so it's really close to Chihuahua. Chihuahua is like 45 minutes out. And it used to be a small little sleepy town, but now they have that's where they make the beer. So they have they have some of the purest, best water, groundwater, right? Wow. And so that water is what they're cultivating to make the beer. Wow. So the factory's there, and so the brewery, it's a huge brewery. Hey everybody, Patch Boys here. We want to do this quick short so we can provide some information about our new sponsors, Underdog Wireline. You can see I'm wearing their merch here. So I just want to tell you a few things that they provide. Of course, they're in Wireline. In Wireline, they provide pump down, logging, pipe recovery services, and as well production work. And some of the other stuff that they provide, they have emergency shower trailers and cool down trailers for rent. At the end of this, we're going to put their contact information. They believe in us, we believe in them, and I think we're a match made in heaven. We appreciate all the support, and we hope that you support Underdog Wireline as well. Thank you guys. Hey, what's up everybody? Patch Boys here, showing the new merch drop from Tejas Hustle, man. Man, they got amazing hats. They just gave us a plethora of hats to show off. We got some corduroy hats, nice and soft, light as a feather. Some trucker hats, man, that you're used to wearing out in the patch. Looking amazing. We got some hunting gear. You know what I'm saying? Orange love right there. And this hat that we're wearing right now, which Ricky's going to gush over in just a few seconds, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate Texas Hustle for hooking us up, man, making us look good.
Oh, yeah, man. We love it, man. We appreciate all the support. Like he said, I'm loving this hat, bro. This hat right here, look, man, it looks good on both of us, bro. And we got two different types of heads. So check them out, man. And, these guys support us. If you're looking for any shirts, you're looking for any decals, you're looking for any cowboy gear, something, man, check them out at TejasHatco.com. Look at their links on the bottom of our description on the episodes, and you can be able to get them. So support them like you support us. If you love us, you love the Permian Basin, you love the oil and gas industry, you love this local thing we got going, check them out, man, because they're doing great stuff, and we appreciate their support.
Shop local, and don't forget, keep on hustling, baby.
There you go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys here. Blessed again to be announcing another sponsor for us. This one's going to be Titan. They're running out of Crane. They're real close to me. It's family. So we want you guys to support them like they support us, right? So they're running out of Crane. If you want to get in contact with them, it's 432-307-1960. Some of the stuff that they offer right now, if they have rustabout maintenance crews, trash trailers, porta potties, combo trailers, forklifts, and they're adding more stuff every single day. So if you guys want to support them so they can continue to support us and give you all the content that you want, go ahead and give them a call. Thank you.
All right, guys, check out this sponsor, Branded 14 Hot Shot Service. All right, they do any type of hot shot work you need. I'm talking any type. They even do ESP spooling. They do ASP tech service. So, I mean, you probably seen them run around in and out the field. Check these guys out. They're good guys, man. Give them a shout out. I'm going to put the number right over here, and give them a call if you need anything, man.
Brewery. Yeah. And so that's where they're at now. And, man, awesome. So that beer everywhere now in town, that's a beer. Bud Light's all over the place, right? Yeah. And so that's awesome. Stuff like that is what happens to these towns. Yeah. And it's the stuff like water and stuff like that, and territory, of course, depending on what it is, temperature. So a bunch of these small towns, they get one of those factories and it employs a ton of people.
It's like that. My suegros are from La Cruz, which is south of Chihuahua. You know, tiny town, but man, you pass like 2 factories going from Chihuahua into La Cruz.
That's what happens,
and that's where they work. But he's got like Nogales like locked up. He's got like 50 acres of I got like. Anybody want some pecans? We got some pecans at the house. But it was great going down there and seeing, man. It was like, man, I could absolutely live here, man. But I got the non-starters, my guns, man. I just gotta have my guns.
Yeah. And to paint the picture,
do it, man. That's a little hard one.
Well, I was talking to my wife's cousin. He's like, man, we can't have guns. It's like, you can? He's like, yeah. He's like, but they can't be higher than 38 caliber. Like, what am I gonna do with the 38, man? He's like, and I gotta have this piece of paper when I travel. I was like, what do you mean? I can travel from here to here, and that's it. I was like, I can't do it, man. I'll come visit.
They have to. They have to.
That's it.
Like we have my dad likes to go hunting. Yeah. So in hill country, you go hunting for small whitetail, whatever, small deer they have over there, and he had to carry your permit, your paperwork. It's so crazy to think that, because you got these fools all over the street with ARs and AKs. Man, and
the federal, our own government sending guns down there.
Yeah,
and the citizens can't. And look, I don't want to get into a debate. It's just like I just don't understand it. You can anything. So let's say it's straws. Let's take a guns out of it's straws. You're not allowed to have plastic straws, man. But the federal government is sending plastic straws down here to track them to see if the federal straws get into the straws get into the people's hands. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like, it's crazy. It's one of the things that you don't like. You don't want to say exactly what you know, right? Like we all know, but we don't really want to say it. But Trump said it a couple times, so he's taking care of it for us. But it's a crazy place, and to paint a picture for Ricky, because he's saying the pecans, right? Yeah. Like you wouldn't understand unless you saw it. Like over here, you see some fields, right? We have fields with pecan trees, and like here, it's insane. Yeah, damn. Acres and acres and acres of, and it's beautiful. Really, it's not just like for the pecan's sake, but it's beautiful. You see the bare ground, and you just see the lines and lines and lines and lines and lines. It is insane.
And that part as negatives.
Oh, it's that's a little different. That's a little different.
And the irrigation that they use is obviously different than what you see here in the States. It's a lot of locks and canals that he has, and like they'll feed the water in. They'll have to open up and flood the area to get but it's really fascinating.
That's where we used to swim when we were kids.
Yeah, man.
We'd flood you'd stop one area and you'd flood a little area. They call them pilas, and it's cement blocks where you can gather your water all the way up and then use it for whatever you're going to use it for, right? And we would do that and just down to underwear, jump in.
He's got a couple acres in El Paso. That's where they live now, and it's the same. Awesome. They still use those little canals. Man. It's a trip. I'd never seen it before. In Houston, it's like man, there's water everywhere. Yeah, like you don't have to worry. There's never like a water shortage in Houston. So seeing how they do it, they say, we irrigate once a month. I'm like, once a month.
Yeah, that's
how they do it.
Man, that's crazy, man.
You would see it like in my hometown. You would see like probably every mile or two, you would see they look like spigots, but they're not spigots. And it would just have one reservoir. And then, of course, the line cemented all the way down to where it travels. but they come and open it up, and it's all ground reservoir.
Yeah.
But the water, I remember we would if you have an extra cup or whatever, you could pull over. If the water was on, you get a cup of water. It's some of the most delicious, cold, it's crazy. Yeah. Because over there they don't have mining like we have mining, right? You couldn't do that shit here. Like it's of course, not to say nothing. I love my job, but what I'm saying is like you couldn't do that over there. And you could literally what you're swimming in, you could drink it no problem.
That's crazy, man. And you go out there a lot, right?
Yeah, we go down there quite a bit. Yeah, I really do enjoy Mexico a lot, man. I really do. I'm still learning how to speak Spanish, but I enjoy it.
Me too, bro.
The words I say, I just try the words I know I try to say them properly.
Yeah. I tried to talk Spanish the other day to his mom, and it was kind of horrible, bro. But
it's crazy, man.
It's one of those things. But that's crazy because I always see you traveling, like you said, you always go to Paso training. But I also see you bring like a lot of jiu-jitsu teachers in too, right? Like, how does that work out, man? You just pick them, or they
you know what's funny, man? It's such a small community. It's just like oil and gas or anything. When you have something that's a common interest, like you see each other around, you just kind of become friends with people over the years. And I've got some fantastic people I've met over the years who happen to be some of the greatest fighters in the world, like literally on the planet, and they've come out here to Midland. We got another one we're working on now, a guy I know, Victor Hugo, who's probably one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters in the world in his weight class.
Wow.
And he'll be coming out to Midland. We've had Kendall Rusing, who is, in my opinion, the best female competitor in the world. She's a friend of mine. She's been out here a few times already. Johnny Tama, who's an adult black belt world champion, has been out here. He's a good friend of mine several times. He'll be coming out again this summer. So it's just nice to see people in the community. And I normally don't bring somebody in for a seminar unless I know them. Like anybody will come in if you pay them enough money, but I prefer support my friends and people I know, and people have been cool, over the years. And so I always a buddy of mine just hit me up today. He's like, hey, I want to have excellent, so-and-so Gracie come in. I was like, man, no disrespect to them, but I got people who I love and care about I ain't brought in yet. I'm gonna bring them in first, you know what I mean? So it's like, but it's been good. And people trip out when they come to Midland. Depending on how long we're here, we'll take them down to Rockin', we'll go dance, we'll go two-step, something like that. And they're just like, man, where am I? I'll never forget I had a buddy of mine come in town to teach at a seminar, and I took him to Rockin'. He's living in Hawaii, but he's from Brazil. He's like, can I borrow your boots? And I was like, yeah, you can borrow my boots, bro. So I'm wearing my Ultra boots, and I only had a pair of boots at the time. He tucked his jeans in his boots. He's out there dancing. Like, there we go.
Dude, that's the thing in Brazil. There's a lot of vaqueros. Of course, they call them vaqueros in Brazil.
Hey, I didn't realize how big bull riding is in Brazil.
Yeah, that's
Their rodeo scene is legit.
Those guys are number one in beef in the world.
Yeah, they are. They've been killing it in PBR. I saw a documentary on that.
Yeah, they are the biggest beef producer.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have that, you gotta have bull riding. Like,
that's crazy.
It's so funny. My father-in-law owns Productos Real. He and my suegra, and it's like a Latino food distribution company.
Nice.
He bought this lingua from Brazil because they had so much of it, and they bought like a ton of it. I don't know, something happened with it because I was joking about it the other day. He's like, "No, I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not buying it anymore." I was like, "What's wrong with it?" "No, I'm just gonna buy it here." So, anyways, but he was talking about in Brazil, like it's much cheaper because they just have so much beef. Can you imagine it being cheaper to bring from Brazil, like to transport all the way up here? Like how cheap it must be. Because that freight's got to be outrageous.
Oh, it's got to be outrageous. But they're like all the stuff that's going on right now, just so people understand some of that stuff, right? Very low tariffs on it to come into the United States. Compared to the other way around, obviously for us to Brazil or for us to Europe or for us to Japan. So that definitely helps them. They're like, man, forget the freight. Let's just roll it.
Such an interesting perspective too, because I see both sides of the coin.
Absolutely.
It's like I completely understand the need to provide cheap goods for everyday people. But long term, is that what's best for us? I don't know that it is. I don't know. I don't know enough. I'm for sure not an economist. I'm not pretending to be.
I don't think any of us know. We've been in one economic system our entire lives, right? So it's kind of difficult to imagine it another way, right? But now that it's kind of coming into fruition and we're doing all these things, I'm barely starting to learn like some of the give and takes that come with trade. And but yeah, man, that was one of the big ones because beef it's what feeds everyone, right? No offense to you vegans, we've had a couple vegans on here, no offense.
Do you know I was vegan for 90 days twice?
Really?
It's a true story. I'm not trying to take you off topic.
How did it go? Go ahead.
So I did it because I've got really bad arthritis in my fists and in my neck. Like it's really bad.
So the uric acid, you're trying to get it.
I had to take it out.
Yeah.
And so I could make it 3 months and I just felt flat. And this is before they had like the pea protein and everything else. But I don't think I could do it again. But yeah, man, it turned off my inflammation. That's for sure. And now people gonna hit me up. I know what you're talking about. Maybe, but I'm just giving real world experience that I personally felt. For you, it might be opposite, but for me, it did. But I just felt after workouts, I just felt flat. And I've seen all the documentaries. I've seen all of them.
Nah, man. If I put you with my buddy, Dustin, we had him here. He's the guy that's doing all the refereeing and judging and stuff. Well, mainly judging and boxing, but he's the one doing that, and he will right away. He'll let me. He will defend veganism to the end, right?
I'm glad he didn't bring that up because I don't know all the facts either. I just know I can't live without him.
And that's why we brought it up only a little bit, right? Because we're not gonna get into the back and forth. He's obviously doing really well with the diet, but he has a different type of lifestyle, right? And your lifestyle and the way that you work out and all this stuff is different. It's the same thing like Joe Rogan says, like, I can't with the body like this. He was talking about it the other day. With the body like this at 50 something years old, like this didn't exist. And he's all kissing his muscles and shit. But he's a hilarious dude, but he's telling the truth. Like the type of diet that you have to have is different. It's different. And he can't be vegan and have that type of muscle mass, right?
And for different people too. Like, I definitely believe in that as well. Like I think that your body, I don't know if I subscribe to the idea of how like your blood type can determine what diet I've read the information. I don't know if I subscribe to it or not.
The 10X human protocol stuff.
Yeah, like the idea that my body based on my blood type means that I can eat this better than that. Maybe. Like, I don't know. I don't know how much data is out there. I've read a little bit and I'm not sure that I agree with it or not, but I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you this: what I operate best on is a low carb, high fat, medium protein style diet. For me personally, it's like when I eat a lot of carbs, man, I feel like a lot of inflammation. And I tell you one thing that I've had success with: either eating low fat and high carb, so I'll eat high protein, like low fat, high carb, or no carb, high fat, high protein, and I'll forget. But if I combine the fat and the carbs, man, I gain weight.
Oh, for sure. The carbs gave me bad heartburn, dude. I didn't realize that till later. I would get nasty. I was like a dragon waking up, bro. Like it was bad.
Hit one little garlic bread from Olive Garden, motherfucker. It was over.
That was it, dude. That was it. Or even some pizza, bro.
Especially the refined carb. Dude, I used to eat a large pizza back in the day, man. I eat a large pizza. I was a big boy, man. Damn. We go to crawfish, down in Houston, crawfish is everywhere. Yeah. Dude, I'd eat 4 or 5 pounds of crawfish like a breeze. Easy.
Man, I love crawfish too.
Yeah, man. Easy. And we don't have. I wish we had a spot on there. If y'all know one, you gotta let me know.
Nah, man. It's always just
they try to hit me
crawfish,
15, 16 pounds, $15 a pound. I was like, man, what?
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta import the shit, so it's kind of difficult. That's why I never do. Like if I'm somewhere, South Texas or something like that, the price completely changes. When we go down to South Padre or whatever, you start getting shrimp and stuff like that. It's so cheap.
Man. I went down there for the first time last summer with the kids, and I really enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're really gearing towards the tourism side. I think Texas is really buying into that, like all the stuff that's happening in Fort Worth and South Texas, and now like the beaches are getting cleaned up crazy. Yeah, man, crazy. So
downtown Fort Worth is like, I'm glad you mentioned it, dude. That is way different than downtown Dallas, man.
It's getting crazy.
It's way different, man. It is way different. There's a tournament at that convention center right there in downtown every year. It's a large no-gi tournament. It's the Pan American Championship. Nice. And dude, I love going to it because it's right there in downtown Fort Worth. It's beautiful, man.
It's nice, man. Yeah, and BKFC is gonna be downtown Fort Worth.
Yeah. Jeremy, what a fantastic interview. Jeremy and I, we follow each other now on Instagram, and man, what a great interview that was, man. I just love the community out here, man. I really do.
Yeah, man.
People are like, man, Midland sucks. Man, I love it. I only lived in New York City and Houston. Yeah. And so when I moved out here, it was such a change of pace. I was like, this is for me. I could never see myself moving back to big city, man. I could never see it.
Right there with you. I can
fly out of here for nothing, man. It costs an extra leg of an hour wherever I want to go. I go anywhere in the world for an extra hour. And I don't have to deal with the traffic, the crime, even though the crime, a little bit of uptick, nothing like you see in some of these other major metroplexes. No, of course not, It was like, man, like
that's crazy.
My kids walked to the park. We live right down from Cowden Park when I was driving over here a little bit earlier. It was like, man, there's kids playing soccer out there. It's like,
and I think the good thing about this community is that when stuff like I said earlier in the show starts to happen, word travels fast amongst this community, and everybody does like kind of get up in arms, like. Here in Midland, I've seen it. People will come to aid. They're not afraid to come to aid people and stuff like that. And I think that really does come from a small, tight-knit community.
Yeah.
And we have so many different people of so many different places, not just Midlanders, right? People who have come to Midland like yourself and have made an impact. And that's what we're out to do. Mainly, that's what we're out to do. We like talking to people from the Permian, right? Not just Midland, Odessa as well. We had to talk about this last time because I think everybody was, we shit on Odessa, but they're kind of like our our brother. I can shit on them, but you can't.
That's right. I love Odessa too, man. Even West Odessa. I love it all, man. It's like they were like, oh man, stay out of West Odessa. I was like, man, I grew up in A-Leaf. I was like, let me go check it. I was like, okay, it's a little rough out here, but I'm gonna make it. I know how to operate. I know how to move.
Some brothers in West Odessa.
I was like, I know how to move. I'll be all right.
That's crazy too with your point of view, like out of bigger cities and stuff. Because I've always lived here, me and this guy, man. So it's like when you say it like that, I'm only like this far away. I'm like, damn, I never even thought of it like that, dude. You know,
like I'm 7 minutes from my job to my house.
Oh yeah.
The job is literally 2 minutes from my gym. It's like my circle's like the church is like 10 minutes. It's like I'm right here. I've never experienced it.
Yeah,
and I love it. I don't think I can ever go back.
Yeah,
I was sitting in traffic. I lived in the Galleria area, and I was working in downtown. And there were days I would take my bicycle because it was faster than driving the car. It was 12 miles away.
Damn,
it was that bad.
Yeah, it's that painful for everybody. Yeah. My sister, school counselor. I'm sorry. She had to pay an extra $50,000, sold her house that she had probably, I don't know, it's probably a 10-minute drive here, but over there was an hour and a half.
So crazy.
So she sold her house, moved 1 mile from the school so she could walk because it was faster than driving from across town.
Good for her, man.
But she coming back though.
Yeah, good for her. Hey, look, man, I don't see why people hate it, man. Like I don't need a Neiman Marcus. I don't need a Saks Fifth. I don't need any of that. Exactly. Our mall, nothing wrong with our mall. Man, nothing wrong with Music City. I hate they got rid of. I heard they got rid of the skating rink. I hate they got rid of the skating rink.
They got rid of it. It started melting, so they couldn't keep it up anymore.
Yeah. But it's like, man, nothing wrong with that.
We even got ice hockey, bro.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And listen, we got tickets. We got tickets to the recounts. Man, it's a good time.
The
for
recounts
cheap,
get down, man.
It's a good time for cheap, man. Yeah. It's a good time, man.
Absolutely,
it's a really good time.
Yeah,
we had our last company picnic out there, and I got to know their general manager. Man, it's just a really good organization who cares about the people in Midland. Man.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
You take care of your workers a lot too. I see you like doing a lot of meals for them and all kinds of stuff, man. Like employee appreciation things.
Yeah, man. I really, every week, our production partners and our drivers will get a breakfast and a lunch at least once a week. And then I try to celebrate. If I got an excuse, like we'll do something for St. Patrick's Day, for East, like anytime there's anything I can celebrate, we do it because I can't compete with the patch in regards to dollar for dollar, right? I can never do it. But I can have I got a lot of ladies who work in the plant whose husbands are in the field. Well, they need a job. They're probably not going to work in the field, right? And so I can get them something that is going to provide a nice environment for them. I'm going to pay them as well as I can, right, for what they do, and I'm going to take care of them, let them know how much I appreciate them. Yeah. And that's been the recipe for success because staffing out here, no matter what you're in, is the absolute hardest thing to do out here.
Absolutely.
Is growing or identifying, growing, retaining talent. It's like, man, it's super hard. If you can figure out how to do that, man, you're going to win. Yeah, no matter what it is. You can be paving parking lots. You can be doing anything, and you're going to win. Yeah, so absolutely. I've had to do things, and I'm happy to do things like that. One thing I pride myself in my professional career is helping people find joy in like trivial jobs, things that they might think aren't important.
Yeah.
So for example, we have the ladies who put and the gentlemen who put clothes on hangers. You think, man, I couldn't do it. Like you could pay me $300,000. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't sit there all day for 8 hours. And I just can't.
Yeah.
But those ladies do it, right? And I told them, I said, do you know how important your job is? Because I noticed they were kind of down when I first started. They were just kind of like doing these, like doing it. There's no energy, and I couldn't. You can tell, like, it ain't gonna work, man.
Gotta pump them up.
And so I told them, I said, do you know how important it is what you do? She was like, I'm just putting shirts on a hanger. I said, no, like that guy, and it happened to be like Tom. I said, if his name emblem wasn't on there and you didn't catch it, and that garment makes it to his locker on the job site, and he goes, that's the last shirt he has, and he puts out and his name's falling off of there. How do you think that's going to make him feel to start his day? All he's got is a glue stain where his name belongs.
Yeah.
I said, how do you think he's going to feel? He's probably not too good. Well, let's say it really upsets him. And let's say he says something he's not supposed to do. And maybe he loses his job. And now maybe it's like this trickle effect, It's like, man, like you could have a huge impact on every person's garments that you touch. And like after having the conversation, she was kind of like, "Oh, I guess it is important. Yeah, it's super important." I'm just encouraging her, you know. And I told her, "Hey, how come we don't have a radio back here?" And so now they cut some music on. So now they got that Tejano going too. And it's like, man, it's like now there's some life in it. So when people from out of town, you know, our headquarters in Mason, Ohio, when they come down here, they're like, "Man, what are you doing out here?" Yeah. Like, no, we're telling our people how much we appreciate them and how important their job is because everybody has an important role to play. It's the same thing out in the oil field. It's like, man, let somebody fall off on what they're supposed to do, and you're gonna see real quick how important their job is. Yeah, real quick. I don't care if they're a worm. Bring them the wrong tool or something. Watch and see how important your job is. Right? I mean, that's how it is, man. That's how it is. Every piece. Every single tooth of the cog is important, man. Yeah. Every single.
And I will say, because you're here and because that is your job and because I've been a recipient directly from Cintas, man, that shit, to have good, clean uniforms is one of the best things that you could have. It could mean a bad day right? to a good day. 100%. Yeah. If I go on and I have to put a pair of coveralls on that are already filthy,
yeah, man,
it completely changes your mindset to begin that day. That is the fucking truth, straight up. Man. Yeah. And it's crazy. And I've never gotten the chance to say that to anybody because I've never known anybody in that line of work.
Yeah. And I was like,
really,
the man,
truly,
like
you guys are behind the scenes. But it's amazing, man. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
And to your workers, we appreciate you guys. That's amazing,
it's
man.
It's important, man. It's important. And obviously, if anybody who's listening to this is a customer of mine, man, I'll do anything for my customers. You can ask any of them. Like, I'm working with some folks right now at Diamondback and H&P, and it's like, man, ask them if I take care of them. So anybody listening have any problems, hey, holla at me. I'm gonna take care of it. Let me know. Just ask for Cyril. They don't know CJ. They say CJ who? Just say ask for Cyril. And because I run operations for the Permian, so
that's
from
amazing,
all the way past Big Spring out to Iran, up north to Andrews, like all over. So anything I can do for anybody who's listening, I'll take care of them.
That's a lot of clothes too.
Yeah. It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
I'm trying to imagine it in my. You know how you have the Looney Tunes productions, right? That's what's going through my head. You know
what you guys need to come do a plant tour, man.
Yeah,
you guys need to come do a plant tour. We'll go by, I'll show you the operation.
Absolutely.
We'll have some lunch.
We got the tech. We got the tech.
We need to do it, man. Yeah, we need to do it,
book that shit.
I'm serious, man. You guys come do a plant tour. I'd love to show you around.
And you know, my aunt, man, she did that for 20 years as a dry cleaner lady, you know. But she burned her hand really nasty on the
press,
bro. Like 3rd-degree burns on her hand, nasty.
So we don't have any presses here. There's other sites to do. What we have is a huge steam tunnel. So it's like from this wall to the other side there is like a tunnel that produces steam. And so it releases the wrinkles out of the garment. Nice. It's much faster and more efficient than trying to
I thought y'all started because sometimes, man, they, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the FR, you know what I'm saying?
What's crazy is I see some guy, this guy turned in his FRs, and this was a few years ago when I was still helping out our drivers here and there, and he gave them back, and they were like 4X starts. I was like, dude, you know this is like very flammable.
Yeah.
Like, the clothes are inherently FR, but you just covered it. It's like you soak it in gasoline. It's like, man, this thing is gonna light like.
I never even thought of that, dude.
Oh yeah, man. There's like, I starch up my FRs. Like, you did what?
Because I've always wanted to do that, and I'm like, man, I want to do that in Marriott's, you know.
I mean, it looks cool, right? You walk out there with your boots and shit, you look good and crisp and everything, but
not FRs no more. But it looks good.
But I also think I don't know if I can sit in my truck all day like that, bro. You know, start stuff.
That's the whole reason why we get the safety meetings, like, and at the safety meetings, we're like, if you're going to wash,
that's right,
your own FR stuff, it's particular things you have to do, like you have to go through the whole shit.
It's really dangerous, man. I tell my customers all the time, like, man, please. Like, they think that I don't want to wash their clothes. Like, man, give me all the clothes back to wash. I want to wash them all. Number one, I got chemists in Ohio that their entire job is to figure out how to encapsulate that oil and pull it off the clothes without damaging the clothes.
Nice.
It's like, so, man, please give them to me. Not to mention that, the quality. Yeah. Like, do you have a button missing? Let me fix it for you. It's part of the program. Damn. Your name emblem's coming out. I'll fix it. It's part. Is it worn out? I'll replace it for free. It's part of the program. So it's like, man, I want the clothes. Damn. But for whatever reason, they say, I just want to wash them at the house. Like, okay, but don't take that thing and use Tide and think you get the same quality that I am and throw it in there with your other cotton garments because all little fibers get on the FR as well. It's like, man.
And it's because of the same thing that I tell you. People get into that. Man, if they take my clothes, what if it doesn't get back? Man. I got to put that nasty, you know what I'm saying? It's for the same reason. I hear it all the time,
and I'm going to tell you what the number one, I'm about to go off.
Nah, get on it, man. Get on it.
That's
what we're here to do.
So if I am working 5 days, okay, I'm working 5 days a week, which is very uncommon out here, right?
Yeah.
I need 11 garments in my inventory, and here's why. I need the 5 that I have at the house, okay? The 1 on my back, and then the 5 I'm giving you to wash.
Yeah.
Okay, so 11. But guys will work 6 or 7 days on their 11 inventory and say, oh, Cintas didn't bring my shirt back. No, that's because you only gave me 3 because you used more. You self-shorted. You used more than we should. They gave me enough. And so the next week, you've now given me how many? You gave me 8. And all you have is 3 because you gave me too many. Why? Because you're working more than what your inventory is allocated for. It's all self-shortage, right?
Yep.
So if I'm working 6 days a week, I don't need 12. I need 13. If I'm working 7, I need 15. And so a lot of times either, they don't want to pay for it, or I've even told customers, look, I'll give you the extra inventory for free if you move up to it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cause a problem for me down the road. It's like, oh, Cintas, I know what they're doing. Then I give my clothes back.
Yeah. And that is what happens. 100%.
It's just not, you're just working too many days. You guys don't have enough clothes,
Man, that's what it is.
So it's like, I try to explain it to them, and sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. And honestly, man, most of the people that I work with, customer wise, they're very reasonable people. They don't want to deal with the uniforms. They don't want to hear people complaining. And as soon as I can offer them a solution, they normally take me up on it.
Hell yeah.
But man, I hear it I've heard it for so long. It's like, man, that is 100%. We don't have like a cachet of clothes that we're just hiding. Like, oh man, forget them dudes. They're not getting their clothes back this week. It's like,
Juan, we're not taking Juan.
When y'all do the plant tour, you see, I'm not hiding any clothes anywhere.
Nah, that would be amazing, man, to show people.
Man.
That's a crazy idea.
I would love to.
Awesome.
And like before we go, I wanted to ask you, man, how did you even start the jiu-jitsu school? I mean, because I know you do the Cintas, and you got to be busy. You're working plus 40.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
That's a lot of time you're putting in.
Yeah, I feel like at my age, this is like my time to grind, man. Like, I don't know how many more years I can do this, but for right now, I'm just like nose to the grindstone. So we started in our garage. We knew that when I left Bruno, and who is my professor, promoted me to black belt, who's a very decorated and fantastic coach and competitor, and we just kind of had a difference of opinion. And so I just wanted to go off on my own to do my own thing, but obviously wished him the best, he and his wife. His wife, actually, I'll tell you a great story to tell you how important what she was to me, and he was as well, is that when I moved to Midland, I didn't really know many people. I knew Dusty and Mara, who were fantastic friends of mine to this day, and Bruno and his wife Pecha. So Pecha was emergency contact for my children when I moved out here. You know? So it was like he and Pecha have been fantastic, but again, we just kind of had a difference of opinion. And so I started in my garage. I told my wife, I was like, man, I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm not ready to open a school right now. She said, just put some mats in the garage. I was like, I'll try it out. Nobody will come, but I'll try it out. Well, we had 30 people at one point in our garage.
Damn.
And I'm like, man, we gotta do something. It's just too much. And so we found that spot on Illinois, and my landlord, man, just shout out to Mr. Ricky, just a fantastic guy. To this day, he never seen my ID or nothing. He just said, okay, here's the keys. I'm like, what? Okay. He's like, yeah, just send me a check. I was like, all right, no problem.
You got a face I can trust.
Send a check out the Pecos. I send a check out the Pecos once a month. I was like, okay, no problem. And so I'm like, man, he's gonna do credit checks and everything else. But now he's just like, here you go. So anyway,
awesome,
built that spot out, and man, it was a grind. It was every dollar I had. And matter of fact, I got a short-term loan from my Suegros, and I didn't want to, man. Like I don't like asking people for help, but thank God, like within 3 months, I was able to pay him back completely.
Yeah.
And so painted the building myself. Had some of my wonderful students help me build it. Underneath the mat, I'll tell you a funny story. There's 120 tires. And so our mat, there's only 2 mats like this I know of in Texas, and I built both of them. The school I came from in Houston, Pablo Silva's he's got a world-class school there. And he was thinking about doing foam. And I was like, man, you should do tires. I saw a judo mat in Chicago. They use tires. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. So we were hustling up discount tires to get free tires, because if they're used, they got to pay to recycle them. Mm-hmm. So they'll give you the tires. And so we went and we made trips overnight, and then sometimes we go and sneak out and get into the connexes and just start pulling out the used tires. I knew they didn't really want them. I'm not really incriminating myself.
Of course,
something they got to pay to recycle. But we did the same thing here, because when you break fall on concrete, man, it hurts. Yeah. Even if you got a nice mat, it hurts. And so I didn't want my students to experience that. So built the mat space. Built out the walls. I had to tear out all the electrical. My buddy, who's a master electrician, shout out to Paul, helped me wire the entire building. And when we built it, I wasn't sure how many people would come, but we got to 50 students pretty quick. We got to 100 students pretty quick. And once we got to 200, it's been a very consistent flow coming in. Man, and I really believe we'll have 600 students before you know it. We just bought the building actually next to Planet Fitness, that old daycare. Yeah, so I've been going over there renovating. Probably start painting this weekend inside of there. So
wow,
yeah, man,
man.
we'll be able to service a lot more people, and really more than the numbers. Like, oh, I got 600 students. It's going to be, man. Think about how many lives we can change if we have a facility that can house more people. Because right now we're almost at capacity. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to kind of get to that next level. And we made a run at the Hancock Fabrics building, but they just wanted crazy.
Oh, the Fabrics building.
Dude,
I saw they were getting it ready.
I've been wanting that for a long time.
That's big too. I know people see it.
It's 15,000 square feet, and then the daycare comes with it. So it's like 19,000 square feet. And I was like, man, I want this bad. So we really, I saw it twice. I brought my realtor out there, and a buddy of mine is a contractor, and it just wasn't the right timing for right now. So who knows, man? Who knows? But cool, that spot is we're in right now, or going to be in right now, is going to be good. I heard somebody, I can't remember his name, Hillman. I can't remember, somebody who's prevalent in the oil business bought that dry cleaners there, tore it down. They're going to build like a snow cone stand. So we've got HTO on one side, and we have a snow cone stand on the other. So it's like in the McDonald's right down the street.
So we're gonna start thriving.
I think so, man. I think so. So I'm excited, man.
Midland's going crazy right now, man. People like you doing these things for Midland is huge, man, because it's just growth.
Yeah, man. I really do love this community, man. They've been so welcoming and so kind, and it's just been great, man. Going out to you go to the grocery store, you run into somebody, you know, no matter where you're at, you're gonna see somebody you know most likely here and there, and it's like you just run the same circles, and it's a sense that I hadn't really felt before. I mean, I really do love it here, man.
And I also feel like even like in jiu-jitsu, like you make these friends, man. They stay with you forever. Like, you know, Mr. Reyes and Alan and Juan Perez, like they've always been my friends since I was like 15, dude. Like,
you know, when you go through something hard like that too, there's a bond that's formed. It's like when you do difficult things together, like regardless of what it is, man, that's something you can't really replace or replicate, right? It's like once you've endured some struggle and some hardship with somebody, like some people who I've had like these really hard training sessions with, dude, we're linked for life, man. Because we've been through it. When we wanted to quit, we wanted to give up, or we've got injured or beat up or bled. It's like, man, like bonds are forged, you know? Man. It's the same thing when you're out in the field, man. You're coming off a crazy shift, like you're exhausted, you're tired, you're out there grinding together. It's like, man, you went through something difficult together, regardless of what it is, right? And it matters, man. It matters.
Yeah, we've like all had spirits. That well from hell that we've gone through with our buddies, or that one night. I mean, I did one with Fabian, our other buddy that we started this with. Man, I went on one with him, like a full 24-hour shift, building like 30-something pumps from scratch. Wow. Me and him together. It's crazy. Stuff like that. Those stories, man, they last forever. You can always be
never
like, man,
forget,
remember that one time?
Man. What the funniest part is this, is while you're in it, you're like, oh, this will never end. Yeah. It's like when I'm talking to my uncle, he's like my big brother. He's 4 years older than me, the one who taught me how to box. It's like, man, I thought these times would never end. Like hanging at my grandparents' house or kicking it with him or messing. Man, it's like we haven't really got to hang out in years. Yeah. But what keeps us together is laughing about these stories of us being stupid kids running the streets.
Yeah, those memories.
It's like, yeah, man. It's like you just don't. You think it's never gonna end, right? So my biggest encouragement with people is to, man, don't focus too much on just where you're going or what the destination is. Like, man, enjoy every single day. Enjoy every single day, because before you know it, man, it's like,
no lie.
And my feeling at 46 is way different than I felt at 36, and obviously way different than I felt at 26. It's like, man, the best advice that I can give people is, man, wherever you're at in life, make sure you're moving towards something that's important to you, whatever that may be, right? The true judge of success, in my opinion, is not necessarily having $100 million, right? It's, are you working towards a goal that you set forth for yourself? If you are, you're successful. If you're somebody who wanted to be a teacher and now you're teaching kids and work with them, change their life, that's success.
That's success.
I don't care if you're making $50,000 a year. Like, that's not a dollar amount. It's, are you doing what you want to do with your life? If you're not, man, make changes and make them quick. Yeah. Say, look, CJ, I can't quit my job. No problem. I know you have some free time though, because even I have free time, and let me tell you what, I work a pretty good pace. You know, I'm at the job during the day till at least 5, and then I run out, teach class till probably 6:30 or 7:30 or 8, and then by the time I get to the house, I got to get the kids scared away, eat some dinner, and I'm shutting it down about midnight, 5:36. The alarms aren't ringing. Yeah. But even I can find some free time. So I know we can. We just have to reevaluate and change our perspective, right? So if you're not where you want to be, figure out during your free time what you can do to move towards that, right? Just like you guys started this podcast. It's the exact same thing. It came from an idea, a small seed. You're like, man, it might be cool if we talk. Man, I don't know if anybody's gonna listen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that. I mean, did that happen or not?
That was 100% what happened.
It's like, man, I don't know if people are gonna listen. I don't know if this is gonna resonate with people. And at some point you just started it.
Yeah,
you just started it, and the fact that you stepped down on it puts you so much far further than 99.9% of the population, because most of us, and I'm speaking to myself as well, right? Yeah. Most of us never start.
Yeah.
We have every excuse in the world as well. We don't do it. And we lean on that excuse, and it becomes a habit, and the habit becomes the fiber of who we really are.
Yeah.
It's like, man, just take small steps to where you want to go. Like, take small steps. It's so powerful. Like, those small steps every day is the same way as like, okay, I'm going to get in shape tomorrow. I'm going to go work out really hard for 5 hours. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that once a month. What is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. But if I worked out diligently 30 minutes a day, every day, it's way more beneficial, and it's way less sacrifice than what I really thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't have to spend 5 hours in the gym. I need to go in there spend 30 minutes. Maybe it's writing. Maybe somebody's got in their heart to be a writer. Man, write a page. I can't write a novel. No problem. Can you write a page? Write a page a day. It's like, man, it's so much power in these incremental steps forward, and just not stopping while you're doing it. Just so much power in it. But again, I think we lose focus on it. We have this social media mentality, and I try my best not to be somebody who proliferates it. I try to show my losses and my setbacks as well, or something bad happening, like when I was doing the terrible job snowboarding, trying to snowboard 5 weeks post-op, just eating, just falling down and stuff. But it's like, man, instant gratification is most of the time a fake. It's a facet. It's not real. Right? It's not real at all. Yeah. And so if we just take these tiny steps forward, we're not going to get where we want to be tomorrow. But you know what? A year from now, we're going to be a whole lot closer to where we want to be than if we didn't go. It's like, why not just take a little step? What do you have to lose? You're going to go sit on the couch and drink one less beer, watch 30 minutes less of your favorite show? Okay, no big deal. What did you lose? Not much, right? Yeah. Just little steps forward, man. It's so powerful. So powerful.
Damn, man. I mean, that's awesome the way you put it, though. For sure,
love it, man. Yeah,
that's how we were. I mean,
exactly what happened.
I came up under Pastor. I don't know if you guys know who Pastor Joel Osteen was, but I started working with him in his church before he had actually just become pastor. This was in 2000, and I was a volunteer for him. And I worked in their mailroom. I was selling cars at the time. I was like, man, the car business is not for me. I was really good at it, but it was like working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. It's just very unfulfilling. Like, we were just blowing money because we had no life. It's like all we did was sell cars, And I was like, you know what? I got enough money. I'm gonna quit. I quit, and I just went and volunteered at the church full time, in the mailroom, like the lowest spot in the mailroom. And then last Thanksgiving, they called me and said, "Hey, Pastor Joe wants you to come share your testimony at the church." I'm like, I've never spoken in front of 100 people, much less 16,000 times 2 and 1 million people online. I can't do that. And my buddy, who's his right-hand man, Johnny McGowan, one of my best friends in the whole world, happens to be really good friends with Pastor Joel as well, lifelong friends. He's like, man, you can do it. I was like, man, I can't do it. He's like, nah, you can do it. You can do it. I was like, all right, whatever. And I remember walking up on the stage like, man, it was such a surreal moment to think that I was in the lowest volunteer position. And there's nothing lower, there's no volunteers for cleaning toilets. It's like, it's a housekeeping crew does that. Like, I was sorted mail. Like, nobody.
Yeah, you would think that,
And the fact that I was in his pulpit, like, he offered me a spot. Hey, come up here and share your story. It was like, man, it was such a surreal moment that he said, I want you to encourage the volunteers because you were a volunteer. And I told him, I was like, man, to the volunteers out there, I was like, man, you have no idea what a positive impact you're making on people's lives. And you might not even see it, right? You shake somebody's hand with a smile on your face. You don't know what kind of day they're having. They might be suicidal. And that smile on your face might change their life. I was like, man, you're having a big impact on people's lives showing up here volunteering. And most times, what does our brain do? Oh, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody. It's not, I'm not going to change
negativity
life.
Creeps in.
And man, you're changing so many people's lives. So many people's lives. Just a greeter, right?
Yeah.
Or an usher or somebody working in the children's church. Like, man, now this parent has an hour where they can come hear the word. Like, man, it's an hour away from their kid. They know they're going to be in good care, taken care of. It's like, man, these things have very big impacts on people's lives.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what's
the smallest
crazy?
things.
I was just gonna bring that up, dude, and I couldn't think of the pastor's name, and you just brought it up right after that, which is wow, man. Yeah, because I was like, I remember seeing that on Instagram. You shared it, and I was like, man, I think I replied to it, and I was just like, that's awesome, man. You know what I mean? But it's crazy, you know.
Yeah, his mother. I'll tell you another quick story. His mother, I would deliver her mail to her, and she founded the church with her husband who passed away, the late Pastor John Osteen, who was amazing gentleman as well. Was really good friends with my grandfather. And she found out that I dropped out of school, and I was volunteering in the mail room. She said, you need to go back to school. She called me Jeff. She said, you need to go back to school, Jeff. She said, Jeffrey, you need to go back to school. I said, I thank you, Miss Doty. I appreciate it. I'm not going back to school right now. I was working full time while I was working to finish my undergrad, and I just needed a break. I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
And she's like, how much is it to go back to school? I was like, I'm saving up right now. It's gonna be about $2,500, you know. And man, she wrote me a check, dude. She wrote me a check, and I don't think I would have gone back to school had she not pushed me to do it. And to this day, I'm grateful to her. It's like people have their own opinions about how he preaches, and that's fine. Everybody's free to think what they think.
I'm one of those people.
Those people are the most genuine, kind heart. I've seen him in good times. I've seen him in bad times. I've seen him, you know, at 2:00 in the morning when he missed his flight, or they lost their luggage. He's coming in, and he stops what he's doing to come over and give me a hug and tell me how much he appreciates him picking up at the airport. It was like, man, this guy is who he is. I hate to tell people, I got bad news for you. I've seen him up and down, and he's just a genuinely very kind-hearted, considerate person. He hates the limelight. It's so funny. You know, when he started doing the book deal, he signed the most lucrative book deal in the history of nonfiction book deals. And so that's where he gets his money. He doesn't take a salary from the church. And I used to fight to defend him. And I was like, man, people can think what they want to think. It's okay with me. You know,
but it's something but
signing books, signing books, he hates it.
Yeah.
He said it makes him feel like he thinks he's somebody. He's like, man, why does somebody want to see my signature? He's like, it's the most foreign thing in the world for him.
Wow.
He hates it. He doesn't like any of that at all. He just wants to be a normal person, enjoy his life.
Yeah.
It's like that family is just really good people, man.
That's really awesome. Like, and I could tell you personally, like, it's like you're speaking to me, honestly, personally, because I have my perception of what Joel Osteen and what the church does and everything. I think the perception comes from all the background of what we would call whatever media or internet churches or whatever you want to call them, right?
Like mega churches.
Yeah, mega churches, right? They have, everybody can always speak with a negative connotation, including myself, when it comes to mega churches. But I don't meet anybody who has firsthand experience or knowledge with the mega church. It's always just outside media perception. So I've always had my criticisms of that church personally, but it's amazing to hear you say that.
I got a good story for you.
Absolutely.
And so I helped him with his visitor reception, kind of like on the security aspect. And there was a gentleman one Sunday morning. So he's the only pastor I've ever seen do this. After he preaches, and let me tell you something, man, preaching will take a lot of juice out of you, man. There's 16, 17,000 people looking at you. They're coming to be fed. Like, man, it's a very, very, very heavy burden. And so he does that at 8:30. He runs upstairs and goes and greets first-time visitors to shake their hands, personally to tell them how much he appreciates them being here. Wow. Runs downstairs, drinks a couple Ensures, uses the restroom. He's got to do it all over again, okay? He's had breakfast at 6 a.m. He hasn't had anything else to eat. Now it's 11. He's about to preach again. So he goes and preaches again. Now we go upstairs again to greet those visitors. But those, we let the line get a little bit longer because he doesn't have to do anything else. No, incorrect. He goes up and edits his own film.
Wow.
He edits his own sermon, and then he goes home at like 3:00. Okay, so it's right after 11 o'clock service, and we're upstairs. And I could always check the vibe on somebody, because if they're not smiling to meet him, like something's up. Now, there's a difference between somebody grieving or they got a heavy heart, they have a prayer request for him or something like that, like completely different. This guy was a little disheveled, you know, he had flip-flops on and shorts, and just, he had like a scowl on his face. So Johnny, who I mentioned earlier, my best buddy, who's also very close with Pastor Joe, he's associate pastor there. I look at him and kind of give him a wink, and he knows. He's like, yeah, so Pastor Joe is right here, and the guy's right in front of him. And then Johnny's on one side, and I'm on the other. And this guy starts cussing him out, dude.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, you're effing working for the devil. Like, you're one of Satan's kids. And all Pastor Joe has to do is do this, and I drag that dude out. All he has to do is just nudge me, and I already know what time it is. I drag him out, like literally. And there's cops right there waiting. All I had to do is bring him to the cops, and the cops said, we'll take it from here. Like, drag him out. Dude, He sat there for like 2 minutes. And he's like, 2 minutes, dude.
No, when you're getting cussed out.
120 seconds of somebody like in your face cussing you out. When you know there's people right next door who want to shake your hand and tell you how much they appreciate you, it might as well be an eternity. So he walks off. He listens. No, he listens the whole thing. He says, I'm really sorry you feel that way. He said, but I have to operate under the calling that God put on my life. And he put his hand out to shake his hand. Even after you know that. And the guy wouldn't shake his hand. He said, okay, well, God bless you. And he walked off. And dude, I was so mad, dude. I grabbed that dude. I grabbed that dude and I drugged him to the cop. I said, man, he can never come back. He said, we'll serve him right now. And so that was it, man. But at any point, he could have called it off. At any point, he could have said, I had 30 seconds in, I had enough. A minute in, I had enough. A minute and a half, I had enough. No. It could have been, maybe he would have let him go 5 minutes. He didn't stop it, though. At no point did he give me a wink or give me an elbow because that's all he had to do. That's all he had to do, and he didn't do it, man.
Man, you know what? This is amazing because I've seen a lot of videos. I've watched and I've listened to a lot of podcasts and anything like that. And specifically speaking on mega churches and Joel Osteen himself and criticizing and the whole nine. And I've never heard of anybody give a personal insight or a positive insight that way about that church.
Dude, he's the church's biggest donor too. People don't know that. I mean, they can look it up.
Yeah, for
sure.
He's
the church's biggest donor. He is personally. And he is personally the church's biggest donor.
Yeah. So this, this is it's badass that we got it on this podcast, and especially with someone like me because I have my criticisms of mega churches and the whole nine, right? And I have my own criticisms of not just of mega churches but religion itself. I do consider myself a religious person. I just don't. I have my own problems with the institution and stuff like that, right?
Let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, of course.
My wife had a similar experience in the Catholic Church. But I told her, I was like, honey, like. Churches are built with people, and sometimes we have the wrong idea. The church is not a museum to like, oh, look at us, we're saved, look how perfect we are. Yeah, the church is a hospital of hurting people trying to get better, and when somehow we got it all twisted up, we got it all mixed up and think that it's supposed to be a museum. Look at all these perfect. No, the only perfect person was Christ. Yeah. Don't look at me and be like me. You're gonna find plenty of bad things. Don't point out my bad things because I got all of them. You'll find plenty of them. Yeah. The only thing good about me is the grace that Jesus gave me, God gave me through Jesus' sacrifice on the cross on our sins. That's it. That's the only thing good about me. So if you think you're gonna go to church and find people who aren't gonna hurt your feelings, who aren't gonna say some stuff they shouldn't, who aren't gonna do some lying, some cheating, some backstabbing, good luck. Tell me where that church is, because I've never seen one. And I don't mean that disparaging on the church. I just think that we got the wrong idea. We focus so much on making a museum that it's not supposed to look like that. Jesus had dinner with the tax collectors who in modern day and age would be like the scummiest. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know what you'd even compare it to, but these weren't honorable people. Yeah. And then the whores. Yeah. This is who he dined with. Yeah. So where do we get this idea that we're supposed to walk around?
Perfection or something.
He's not saved. Get them out of here. Man, that's who I'm supposed to be friends with. People who are hurting, people who struggle with addiction. Yeah, right. Because I struggle with addiction. I've struggled with pain. I've struggled with all kinds of different sins, right? Yeah. So it's like, what makes me better? That I accepted Christ, so now I'm better? Man, that's nothing better about me. And that's what's disenfranchised people who want nothing to do with the church. And it's really unfortunate.
It's really unfortunate. We're all human, man. We all got our fleshly desires. We got everything. Like, we're just battling every day.
Yeah. I'll tell you another person who really was very kind to me is Bishop T.D. Jakes. I don't know if you know him out of Dallas. Bishop T.D. Jakes, he's one of the most famous black pastors in the world. And his church is the Potter's House in Dallas. And he'd come in once a year and I'd help his team coordinate security. And I saw him year after year for about 3 years. And then the 4th year, I was in the reception area in the back for him. And he walked up to me. He was looking at me. And I could tell he was looking. I was like, what did I do? Like, maybe he's done like the look at me or a big bald head white guy in the corner or something. And he said, brother, can I pray for you? And I said, of course, please. And he was praying for me. Man, he literally spoke to exactly some of the stuff I was going to. And I have to believe it was the Holy Spirit kind of tailoring and giving me words to say because he said, I love you, brother. And I'll never forget it because it's like, man, he didn't owe me anything. Yeah. Like I couldn't do anything for him. But he literally stopped what he was doing to walk over because God put something on his heart to tell me. It's like, man, he gets a lot of heat. But again, another person who just has heart for people, man. Yeah. I don't know how it's not really a justification, but I don't know how to explain to folks what they see is, I think the biggest thing that is off-putting to them is the financial success,
the gains, the financial gains. Absolutely.
But again, should these guys should they not be able to write books? Should they not be able to do things outside of, if they're collecting this money from the tithes and offerings? I think it's completely different than if they're doing something generating revenue off something that's not directly from a donation. To me, it just feels different. Yeah. And if people don't, I'm not here to argue with them or say that they're wrong. Yeah. All I'm saying is how I feel. As somebody who tithed into the church, right? Like that's how I felt about it. Yeah. You know, so it's like,
I think when something gets as large as Joel Osteen has gotten, I think everything that the church, and I'm going to say the church, not him personally, has done in good, or in maybe trying to do good, but ended up negatively affecting them. I think that is blown way out of proportion media wise. And like I said, I've watched a lot of stuff. I've listened to a lot of stuff. Of course, podcasts are media. And I've never heard anybody give an actual story or an actual testimonial, if you will, of the type of person Joel Osteen is. It gains, those are the things that gain my respect. What you said, absolutely 100% gained respect from me, because in my mind, the perception that I had was bad situations that then I tied Joel Osteen to. Yeah. Him as a person, which good or bad or whatever, like we say, we're flawed. It's flawed of me to think that way or whatever, but that's just the perception that I had.
And I'm not saying, and I'm not, the folks who are just saying, well, this how it is, I don't care what you say. Oh, it's okay, no problem. Yeah. I'm not here to convince you. I'm just here to share. And listen, to be honest, there's not many people like me who had this kind of access. Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, we're talking about decades. Yeah. It's not like somebody off the street's going to roll and just have access. I mean, I got his cell. Do you think I'm just gonna hit him up? I don't bug him. Like he'll get a Merry Christmas or Happy Birthday once a year. That's it. And I think that's why I have that access, because I don't abuse it. Yeah. I'm not trying to get anything. Yeah. Like for me, these are people who poured into my life and helped me change my life. When I was a bouncer in College Station, going to Texas A&M, my mother would send me CDs of Pastor Joe, and I said, if I ever move back to Houston, I'm gonna go to church there. I told my mom, I'll go to church there. She's like, will you? I said, yeah. If I ever move back, I don't think I'm gonna move back, but if I move back to Houston, like, sure enough, there I was. And if she hadn't sent me the CDs, I probably never been there. So it's like all that stuff was related, and it brings me to right here, sitting in front of you guys. Yeah. And I believe that your platform is going to blow up.
Well, there's a reason why I got to hear that story.
Yeah, and so maybe
I believe in that. I truly believe in that.
Yeah, and so maybe at some point that's going to minister to somebody, or maybe it doesn't, and that's okay too. I'm not going to change my message though, because my message is just the truth. It was just my own experience. And again, like I say, if people still feel that way, I'm not here to argue with them. I'm not here to say they're wrong. I'm just telling you, this was my experience. Yeah. And the whole thing, what drove me nuts is the whole thing about he locked people out the church for the hurricane. Man,
that was the biggest one.
Completely untrue. Yeah. First of all, during Tropical Storm Allison, we were there working 3 and 4 days straight to bring people out from the community in the church. I was there. I was in Tropical Storm Allison at the church. The entire church was full of people before we moved to the Compact Center. Yeah. So we have already got a track record of bringing people in from the community. The church was almost ruined. Yeah. Like there was people defecating in the corner and stuff because the restrooms occupied. It's like, man, we didn't get on anybody. We just said, hey, we understand, we're here for you. Like the mailroom was transformed into like a food pantry. We were feeding people. It's unbelievable to me that people would say things like this. And so when he went to the Compact Center, the mayor actually said, we don't want people going to church, direct them to George R. Brown, because that's where it was set up. That's where the site was set up. But they still let people in the building. Yeah. Nobody said, oh, sorry, it's raining, you can't come in. That didn't happen. It just didn't happen.
That is amazing.
People locked you out of the church. That just didn't happen.
Do you know how many years?
It just didn't happen.
You know how many years
didn't happen.
I would have paid for clarification, for that clarification.
It just didn't happen.
People
came
crazy.
in. Not a lot of people came in, but keep in mind, where we were in the old church was a very low income area. Yeah. They had no place to go. In the Galleria area, you can go anywhere. Yeah. There's no people like from the Galleria area looking for a place. Oh, I've got my $2 million house in Tanglewood. Let me run to the church. Nobody's doing that. They weren't in a low income neighborhood anymore. It was where the Rockets played. It was like a nice area. So the idea that people were turned is just,
man, that's crazy, man.
But man, I learned a long time ago, I could use all my energy trying to argue with people about what, and I was like, you know what, God's in control. Like,
hey,
I'm not,
but it's
all you can do,
man. Thank God, I thank God that it was my platform and it was me getting to listen to this, brother. Man, I truly appreciate it.
Man,
I really do.
Yeah.
That's big for me. I can't tell you how big it is. I have one, my wife's aunt.
Yeah.
And she's the one that I always go back and forth. She's a huge Joel Osteen person. She listens to all his stuff and his books and everything. I'm like, man, just worry about the local church. You know what I'm saying? That's my worry about the local church and what we do here. And that's a church somewhere over there, just online and all this shit.
I'll tell you what he started doing years ago is he started partnering with some of these local churches and invest in these local churches so that people who watch on TV, if you notice what he always says is he'll say, find a local church to get plugged into. And so he had a list of partner local churches that you could say, hey, listen, if you're in Midland, go to XYZ, right? Or if you're in Hawaii, go here. Yeah, so it's a network of churches because he doesn't want people saying, oh, I go to church online. He wants people plugged into their local churches. That's the idea. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's always been the goal, right? Yeah. And so even when you go to these outreaches, like when he did Yankee Stadium or Dodger Stadium, he'd always say, he'd bring local pastors and say, here's some local pastors right here that you can talk to and see. Like, it never tried to like, oh, no, they should be online only. Send me all your money. Like, it's not like that.
But it's true, though. I mean, I feel like you can listen to the word all day, and that's awesome. But I think also you need to be in the church.
It's important, man.
I think the church, when you got that worship, it all makes it whole.
You said it perfectly. And here's what I'm going to say this. Never did I find such gratification in my life than me serving others. I really believe that our true purpose is to be of service to other people. I don't know if y'all know who Wes Watson is, but I started working with Wes about, it was like before he blew up, it was like 4 years ago. He's got a bad rap right now. But what he really drilled, and which I appreciated, was he's like, man, figure out a way to benefit other people's lives because that's the goal. The goal is to figure out how to be a service to other people. Yeah. And it's like, man, I truly, truly believe that. I truly believe that. Because as I started doing that, doing things for people who can't possibly repay what I'm doing for them, man, it feels good. Yeah. And I don't tell people about it, right? But I know inside I've done something to make a difference or invest in that person's life. And if they do that to somebody else, like, man, that's how we make real change. Yeah, and I don't want to sound too kumbaya or whatever, but it's like, man, imagine if we all went out of our way to be a little bit nicer to everybody else. Man. If we all did a little bit more. I tell you, the other day I tripped out, man. This is so Midland. I was coming out of a gas station between here and Crane, and a guy opened the door for me. I held the guy from behind him, and then the guy behind him. It's like we were all holding the door for each other. And it felt different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In New York City, when they're shutting the door on you, they don't care. Like, they're just, I remember first time I walking down the street in New York City in Manhattan, I had a place in Midtown, and a dude bumped into me. Man, I'm from the south side of Houston, dude. Yeah. Somebody bumps into me, it's like it's on. Like, you want to do something. So I turned around to square up. The dude kept walking. I was like, man, where am I?
normal rudeness.
Is this another planet? Like, no, it's crazy. No, you square up on somebody if they bump into you like that. Absolutely. Like, it's just what it is, you know? Yeah. And I was like, man, this is crazy. Southern hospitality is real, man.
Oh, it's 100% real.
And out here in Midland, we got a double dose of it, man.
Believe me, absolutely, man. Man, well, I think we're nearing the end of this, man. I can't tell you. So it's been such an illuminating podcast, man. It's been really good. Like, I mean, I didn't know what to expect out of it. Obviously, we're all kind of just having a conversation for the first time, meeting really in person for the first time. And man, it was an amazing experience, man. I appreciate your time very much. Of course, man. I think this was an amazing podcast. Pass it along to everybody. I hope everybody gets to listen to it, man. And we're gonna make some connections.
Can I make a tiny shout out real quick? Absolutely, real good to me. Toyota Katie in Houston been fantastic to me for years. The McGill family, wonderful folks. Grace and John Alford, great people. Zebra Mats, Pro Source Hydration right here in Midland, man. They're a huge part of what I do. Like, their hydration has helped me out so much. Those guys are wonderful people as well. So I just wanted to just give them a special shout out because they've been really, really supportive of me for a really long time, man.
Absolutely.
Cruise Combat as well.
Yeah.
All right, my bad. I'm done.
You're good, man.
You do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, Cruise Combat. Man. So I'll tell you a funny story about them just super quick. So I was a nothing blue belt. Not that I'm something now, but man, nobody knew me from anybody. And Ryan at Cruise Combat invested in me, and man, those guys have been fantastic to work with. They make the best rash guards and no-gi kits and everything made in America, right in Dallas, actually. And so they're just really good people, man. So great for them and Pro Source Hydration.
Shout out, man. Shout out,
man. It's good.
All friends of the Patch Boys, man. We'll put them all out. And
Underdog Wireline, I want to shout them out because they've been since the beginning, since almost being Underdog. And Collide, Colin, please don't make like the Terminator. Who runs on crude, because we're gonna be man. But this Collide is amazing. I'm on Collide. Cyril Jeff on Collide.
Man,
Awesome, man.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody for listening.
All the
Appreciate all the
sponsors.
sponsors,
Yep.
man. And we appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
Thank you
brother.
very
Appreciate
much.
y'all,
Thank you. It was a great. It was great, man.
Amazing episode. Amazing episode.
Yeah. We'll call it good. Thank you.
Guys, just wanted to come out here and say, make sure you hit up Underdog Wireline, man. These guys really know what they're doing. They got it going. I've worked with them personally on the field. I know you've heard me say it 100 times, but it's the truth. So look, they offer emergency shower trailers. They offer lay-down machines. They offer cool-down trailers. They even offer wireline, slick line, braided line, whatever you need. They probably got whatever line that you want, bro. So hit these guys up. Give them a call at this number, and support them like they support us.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys again, here to announce yet another sponsor, Branded 14 Hot Shot Services LLC. They offer hot shot work, ESP spooling, ESP technician service, and heavy hauling with semis. These guys are local. They're helping us out, so we want to help them out. Go give them a call at 432-638-1755. All the other information we're going to put right down here, so you guys can give them a call, send them an email, however you need to get in contact with them. We appreciate it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys here. Blessed again to be announcing another sponsor for us. This one's going to be Titan. They're running out of crane. They're real close to me. It's family. So we want you guys to support them like they support us, right? So they're running out of crane. If you want to get in contact with them, it's 432-307-1960. Some of the stuff that they offer right now, if they have rustabout maintenance crews, trash trailers, porta potties, combo trailers, forklifts, and they're adding more stuff every single day. So if you guys want to support them so they can continue to support us and give you all the content that you want, go ahead and give them a call. Thank you.